Yeah, this is Tactical Red in the bed, giving my technical and tactical and insight to Man United that some people don't even see. Some people don't even understand, honestly. Now, Ten Hag has made. People talk about how great Ten Hag is at transfer windows, or has made this Man United side, this, that, the other, and we've improved, blah, 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 blah. But Anthony's been the worst signing since Maguire. This Mount signing is really, I don't know, this Mount signing is really becoming confusing. Who else has he even signed that's even impactful? I mean, Malacia doesn't play. Martinez is a good signing, but, you know, I don't know. I think he's becoming a bit disillusioned. Casemiro was not his signing. We all know he wanted De Jong. He did not want Casemiro, but, you know, I guess that's a John Merton signing. And, you know, who else has he signed? We haven't seen Højlund, but I feel that Højlund is just, to me, Højlund and Rashford are the same player. But Højlund is a bit more physical, can dribble a little bit better. But they're the same player. I think they're the same player. I don't think there's a lot of difference between Højlund and Rashford up front. So what we see with Rashford up front, I think we're going to see with Højlund too. So I don't really understand it. I've analysed Højlund's game and stuff like that. And I don't really understand it. I don't really get why we signed him. He's not average. He's potential. I would say we need another striker, a top striker. He has potential. There's no doubt about it. But he ain't ready yet. So 72 mil for ain't ready yet. It's a bit mad. And this guy's, you know, I don't know, man. I think that win against Wolves was just, to me, it just highlights everything that I know already. I knew this before the end of the season that we're like this. Like, fans don't seem to understand that just because the summer you have 2 months without football, you think things are going to change. We was playing rubbish at the end of last season, and we're playing rubbish now. And he hasn't bought anybody to improve that. It's like, he doesn't know what to do. I'm being serious. He's changing his style of football. That's mad. That is mad for a manager to decide to change his philosophy, his entire philosophy. And I go to sleep with a Man United scarf, by the way, because I'm a proper Man United fan. And when I get cold at night, I don't grab the more covers. I grab my Man United scarf because I'm a Man United fan. Because I know what I'm talking about. I got love for the club. I sleep with Man United colours on every day. Might as well have Man United bed covers as well, but not right now. But yeah, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that he's changing his philosophy, and that is just madness. And the thing is, we got players like Mount and Bruno that don't pass or hold on to the ball and have no possession-based players. It's like, how, like, because you're scared. Are you scared to drop Bruno? Are you scared to say no, that you don't want Mount? Are you scared? Sometimes I feel like Ten Hag has no real balls. Like, I feel like, you know, he doesn't really have authority, like, solidly as people think. And plus, even if, let's say he does, he's inconsistent with his mindset. 1 minute he's criticising the players, next minute he's praising them. Players don't like that, you know, unless it's like well deserved. But, you know, players continue to play an inconsistent manager, and the way he thinks and talks about them, it's like it creates distrust. Yeah, it creates distrust when a manager can't be consistent in his words about players. And I think the players don't really, because I think sometimes he blames the players for not working this, not working that. But I think the players know that sometimes it's on him. Sometimes these losses are on him, and he decides to blame them. I think he's a little bit arrogant. I notice these things about people. I can understand body language and psychology very well. You have to understand that I'm very good at this. If you look at all my previous videos, you probably haven't, but if you do, you'll see that I was right about nearly everything I've said. I don't care. I know I've been right. And no one can tell me I haven't. Nobody can tell me I haven't been right about Manchester United. Now, even the individual players, I mean, the only player that really surprises me is Rashford. The only player that I think, I'm not saying that Rashford is great, but he's better than, I didn't expect him to be able to score 30 goals in the season. Number one, even though he has the potential to, he does have potential to, but to me, he's still not a good player. So I'm not surprised, but because he scores 30 goals, okay, you can survive with someone who can score 30 goals regardless of how they play individually. But if he plays up front like he's doing now, it's just ruining the team balance. It's just ruining everything. And Ten Hag is like, I mean, what we should have bought, if we could have used that money on Mason Mount and Holland and buy Osimhen, or even Harry Kane. I don't understand this, like buying Mason Mount to play the way we play. It's just a bit weird. It's a bit weird if you ask me. It's a bit strange, and I think Ten Hag has lost the dressing room personally. I know it doesn't seem obvious to everybody right now. I know people will feel like, what are you talking about? But it's obvious to me. I can see it. I can see that he lost the dressing room because look at that performance. Look at that type of performance. In the last performance, he said that the players played rubbish and he didn't care. And it was the same again. He's lost it. I'm telling you, he's lost it. He's not, like, I tell you the thing about Ten Hag as well, right? That I've noticed. Because I notice everything about everybody's behaviour patterns, you understand? I notice people's behaviour patterns very well and I can clock how they operate. What I've noticed about Ten Hag, is he's not very, very, very motivational. He doesn't inspire. He doesn't feel inspirational. I don't feel like he inspires the team. I feel like, he talks, he can probably make a lot of sense in what he says, but I don't feel like he's inspirational. I feel like it's a little bit dry, a little bit boring, a little bit repetitive. I feel like he doesn't have the charisma to actually make the players feel like, I want to really do that. He doesn't have the charisma of a Klopp or a Pep or even a Pochettino, because Pochettino does the thing where he gets players to love them. That's his thing, Like, who else is managers? Like, Eddie Howe is just like a student coach, and, he gets the players to love them as well. To love him as well. You can see you can see with Eddie Howe, he never hates his players. Like, you can see Ten Hag, he hates some of the players, and one minute he hates them, then he wants to use them. And I don't like all those type of maneuvers with managers, you know what I'm saying? It's just you have to understand, man management is the key, is one of the biggest elements of management. And I don't think Ten Hag is that good of a man manager. I don't think he is. I don't think he's inspirational at all. So, yeah. And the thing with McTominay and Maguire, as a Man United, like, the club needs to understand, like, the board, Alex Ferguson, because I know Fergie's still in charge, by the way. The board, Moto, and Arnold, what they need to understand is this. If the only team that wants to buy McTominay and Maguire are West Ham, you have to really understand that they are not good players. It's really, really simple. If the only team is West Ham who's willing to pay that money for McTominay and Maguire, I know you've accepted Maguire, I get it, but McTominay as well, you have to understand that they aren't good players because West Ham's level is way below ours. You need to understand that, Man United. That means they're not good players. Because if they were good players, then we would have more people on the market trying to sign them. But you don't. So therefore, let them go. I'm Tactical Red in the bed, giving you the best tactical and technical and insight to psychological analysis. Have a good day.